With great power comes great responsibility. And with a time-traveling toaster, there comes a lot of burnt bread. This is a time-traveling toaster, a one-of-a-kind countertop appliance that takes its users on an unpredictable journey through time. It was invented by an eccentric millionaire named Carlton Mallory after he won a coveted spot in the science fair at the age of 84. Every morning when the toaster pops out a piece of toast, it also opens up a portal to a different time period. The possibilities are endless, ranging from the dawn of the dinosaurs to a future filled with robots. But only one person can travel through the portals, which appear just above the knob and open for exactly 60 seconds. Carlton wanted to make the world a better place by introducing advanced technology to different time periods, like giving a caveman a smartphone or showing ancient Egyptians how to build pyramids. He figured that if he could just avoid changing anything major in the timeline, he'd be doing humanity a favor. However, his plan quickly fell apart when his first few test subjects came back from their time travels with tales of alternate realities where the past had been irrevocably altered. For example, someone sent back to the Cretaceous period returned with a T-Rex tooth after being nearly eaten by the very dinosaur whose tooth they lost. When someone traveled back to ancient Rome, they found that the Colosseum was made entirely of rubber chickens. And a trip to the future revealed a dystopian world where everyone's heads were stuck inside robotic dog. It turned out that even the smallest changes could have massive ripple effects. Someone stepping on a butterfly in prehistoric times could cause a hurricane in China centuries later. So Carlton realized that he couldn't just send people to the past without any preparation. That would be too irresponsible. Instead, the toaster began sending people to the past alongside an instruction manual that explained how to fix any problems they might cause. These instructions ranged from rehatching dinosaur eggs so they do and end up extinct to not opening a portal while standing next to a pregnant woman in Victorian London. But this still wasn't enough. After all, someone could still choose to ignore the instructions or worse, try to use a toaster for evil. Carlton tried adding safeguards like a polygraph test that monitored users' heart rate and brain activity to detect any malicious intent. But these measures proved ineffective. One time, a young boy set his sights on bringing back a dinosaur to show his class. Carlton's toaster detected no signs of danger and allowed him to travel to the late Cretaceous period. But once there, the boy panicked and instead of returning home, he opened a new portal and unleashed a herd of Triceratops into the middle of Manhattan. It took weeks to round up the rampaging dinosaurs and repair the damage they caused, and Carlton knew he needed a more foolproof system. He installed cameras in each toaster portal so he could observe what was happening before, during and after time travel. This way he could monitor users and intervene if necessary. He also enlisted the help of two historians, Dr. Elizabeth Cartwright and Professor Reginald Bunsen, who worked together to simulate thousands of potential time travelers and their actions. They created contingency plans for various scenarios, such as how to stop an angry caveman from destroying a village or how to prevent an overly helpful Victorian lady from curing tuberculosis with penicillin before it was discovered naturally. With these preparations in place, Carlton finally felt comfortable allowing anyone to use a toaster. He placed it in the window of his mansion, along with a sign that read, "Step into history," and soon the first eager customers began lining up outside his door. Some were thrill seekers looking for adventure, while others were hoping to witness important moments firsthand. There was even a group of businessmen who wanted to see if they could spot any profitable inventions in the works. The first brave soul to enter through the portal was a 24-year-old adventurer named Amelia Stone. She had always dreamed of seeing a dinosaur in real life, and her chance had come. But as she stepped into the Cretaceous period, she was immediately met with a terrifying sight. A hungry Tyrannosaurus Rex was slowly approaching her hiding spot. Luckily, Carlton had prepared for this scenario, and Amelia's guide appeared, a ruggedly handsome paleontologist named Jake Stone. He explained that she had accidentally stumbled upon a nest of baby dinosaurs and that the mother must be nearby. If she wanted to get out of there alive, her best bet was to distract the T-Rex and lead it away from her current location. Using a combination of intuition and Jake's guidance, Amelia managed to sneak past the dinosaur and return to the safety of the mansion. Carlton paid her $50 for her successful journey and sent her on her way. Meanwhile, deep in the prehistoric jungle, the T-Rex was becoming increasingly agitated, having just been teased by a delicious snack but never getting it. It roared angrily, vowing revenge on whoever had dared to mock it. As the day went on, more and more adventurers stepped into the portals, each facing their own unique challenges. A businessman nearly triggered a war between ancient Greece and Rome. A teenager accidentally unleashed a plague of locusts in Egypt. And a historian got trapped in a time loop, reliving the same day over and over again. Each of these close calls tested Carlton's contingency plans to the limit, but thankfully none of them resulted in disaster. Even the T-Rex eventually calmed down and went back to its daily routine. By the end of the day, Carlton was exhausted and decided to call it quits. He closed the toaster for the night and went to bed, dreaming of a world where everyone lived happily ever after. Except, unfortunately, that's not what happened. In an alternate timeline, Carlton had become so consumed with his plans for time travel that he neglected his wife, Martha. She grew tired of his constant tinkering and left him, taking the toaster with her. Determined to win her back, Carlton followed her through a portal to the Victorian era, but he soon realized that Martha had become a famous inventor in this timeline. She had used the toaster to revolutionize the world with inventions like the self-lighting gas lamp and the automatic washing machine. Seeing how much good she had done, Carlton knew that he couldn't possibly change anything. He spent his days touring the wondrous new world he had helped create and his nights sleeping under bridges. Meanwhile, Martha continued to invent, unaware that Carlton was watching her from afar. One day she unveiled her greatest invention yet, a time machine that could travel to any point in history. Overjoyed at the prospect of finally being able to go home, she activated the machine and vanished. Carlton, desperate to reunite with his wife, jumped into the toaster and gave chase, but he had no idea where she might have gone. He ended up in a medieval castle where he was mistaken for a visiting prince. Then he was whisked away to a futuristic city where he was almost crushed in a street sweeper. Finally, he landed in his own time, only to find that Martha had disappeared without a trace. Carlton realized that he had loved his wife so much that he had inadvertently erased her from existence. Grief-stricken, He shut down his time-traveling toaster and retreated into a life of solitude, haunted by the memory of the woman he had lost. Or perhaps in another timeline, Carlton Mallory never became an eccentric millionaire and spent his life working as a humble toaster salesman. Maybe he met a kind and intelligent woman named Martha, and they built a happy life together. Perhaps he never learned that the toaster he sold her contained portals to different time periods and that she used it to travel throughout history. When the toaster was finally rediscovered, its secrets remained hidden until one day a curious individual stepped forward to investigate. Could you